are the people of Mercury. I am your interplanetary host, Travis Montgomery. These views reflect one planet and one planet alone.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mercury's Cast. I am your interplanetary host, Travis Montgomery. Today it's just me, myself, and I. And there is no other guest or co-host. So it's just going to be me blabbling on, and it is not going to have to do with anything to do with space or reaching Mars, which has been the most successful episode, and I want to thank anyone that listened to that. I think it's a really important part. Oh, see, there I am going down that rabbit hole. No, so, okay, personally, what's going on with me? I am still working, being an electrician, running conduit for outlets and lights and things of that sort. I think I kicked some ass today for a new company that I am working for, no longer unemployed. Woot woot. Take that, UE. What else is new? So, TJ is a 2 years and a couple months old. He's putting his words together in some kind of toddler jambalaya, but we respect him for that, and he's going to come along. Sierra is 11 years old, and quite frankly, pain in the butt. When she wants to be sweet, she is. But, it's just that time of life where, those hormones start kicking in, and all of a sudden you've got a lawyer. You're raising a lawyer or a debate artist. So there's that. And now we have a new addition to the family, which is a puppy. Yeah. I found her 3 days ago. She was about to be roadkill in a very busy street out here in Bakersfield. And I want to actually say something about Bakersfield. Kind of a retraction. But no, this dog that we found, man, she is, she's pretty awesome. I finally got her to Animal Hospital to scan her for a chip to make sure that no one had chipped her previously, pretty much claiming ownership of her, which didn't happen. And she seems young, like a puppy. I've tried to do this with dogs out here in Bakersfield because there seems to be... Okay, so let me do the retraction right now. Compared to other cities, there's not a lot of homeless people in Bakersfield. And my wife brought this to my attention, which rightfully so, because I have kind of shat on Bakersfield. I've kind of put a bad stink on the name as far as the poor area of Bakersfield, which is probably about 15 to 20%. And I've probably made it seem like there's a lot more than that. So let's just get that part out of the way. There are homeless people out here. It's a different breed of homeless than that you see in bigger cities. I don't think there's a lot of schizophrenic. It's just a lot of maybe down on their luck people. Obviously, a large majority drug addict, but it's not like they're everywhere that you go out here in Bakersfield. Bakersfield is a really nice place. I enjoy it. I enjoy the open roads. I enjoy the flat scenery, the landscape that you can see 20 miles in every direction. There's not some big buildings or 10,000 cars on the freeway. It doesn't take an hour to get anywhere. You can get anywhere in Bakersfield that you want to, whether you want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings or some bomb-ass barbecue, which they got out here. You can get anywhere that you want. And there's a lot of upside to Bakersfield that I don't talk about. And maybe it's because when I have a guest on, we are talking about maybe what's going wrong with our country and humanity, the world in general. Okay. So maybe not a lot of the good stuff doesn't get brought up. And there are a lot. I wish the only bad part is that everyone that I love doesn't live in Bakersfield. They live other places. I wish they could all live here and we would be great. I got through a summer of work Yeah, there was like good 2 months stretch where it was 100 degrees almost every day. Give and take some 90-degree days to some 110-degree days. I made it through. I was actually kind of anxious about that moving out here. We made it through. It wasn't that bad. Okay, so I need to stop shitting on Bakersfield because it's actually not that bad. Although I do get homesick. My family is somewhere else, and a couple of my great friends are somewhere else, and that's not even Orange County, LA, where the area that I live. Some of them are scattered elsewhere, and that's just a part of life and growing up. You are going to move places. You are going to, and the important thing is, you keep in contact with your friends that really matter. You talk with them on the phone. Don't text. Call somebody. Texting is like, and I'm the worst at it because I love just texting away on my phone. And I really should call a lot more often, but I think I'm a comedian when it comes to texting, and I'll just send something random, try and see, get a reaction out of someone. But anyways, keep in contact with your friends. I'm trying to do that. I could probably do a better job of that when you move away from wherever you are. It's the cost of living out here is very comfortable. It's not like Orange or LA County where you're barely breaking even at the end of the month. You are choosing which bills to pay. Granted, whatever kind of financial situation you are in, you can make it on a very low wage out here. And that's a lot of people move out here and they stay out here. And that's what I've heard from other places. You could buy a home for minimal, very minimal cost. And it's great. I shit on Bakersfield too much. And I'm about to do it again because there's a lot of dogs running around here. Well, all right. In the area that I live, I don't live in the poor area. I live just on the outskirts of the poor area, which is about 15, maybe 20% of Bakersfield. And I drive through there all the time. It's sad, but it's different than a big city poor area. There's not, in my opinion, I don't feel criminally threatened when I'm out here in the poor area. I purposely go to that 7-Eleven just to, I don't know. It's interesting. I like those kind of people. They got character, Anyways, so I see this dog in the street in one of these areas that I was talking about, and almost gets run over by a car. I'm making a left. It's on the other side of the street. So if I'm making a left, I look to my left. It's on that corner, and it's getting ready. It's like cross the street. It crossed the street in mid traffic. Thank God there wasn't a bunch of traffic because it would have been roadkill. So I see this. I make a U-turn, and at which point somebody was on a bike, and they actually grabbed the dog, and he was like, I don't know what to do with it. And I was like, hey, you know what? Hand it over here. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But and then finally I just grabbed it, and I was like, you know what? Give it to me. I'll find it a home. I take it home. My wife was, let's just say she was less than thrilled because I hadn't actually executed the errands that I was supposed to run while I was out. I did about half of them. And so I come home. Hey, babe, here's the dog. And I didn't go get the water yet. We have these jugs that we fill up, the 5-gallon jugs, which actually is the best water I feel that you can drink. They come from these things called water mills. They're scattered around in parking lots like some freaking treasure hunt or something. But if you see them and you are able to pull off this water mill stuff, it's like a 12-step filtration process. That is the business right there. It's I don't know. People say that there's no taste in water, but to me, I taste the difference. I like it. It's good for me. So I had to leave the house again to go get the water, and so I'm like, here, babe, here's the dog. We got to find a home for it, and I still got to go get water. So I throw the dog in the backyard. Immediately escapes, like immediately. So, anyways, the dog's a puppy. Just to rewind a little bit, the dog's a puppy. It looks like a Jack Russell Chihuahua mix, and very small, very smart, very escape artist, David Blaney. So it gets out, and now I'm getting a call. Why did you do this? She's trying to do her thing with the home business right now, which is taking off, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So now I'm on the road trying to get the water, and the dog is running around, and she's like, "Why did you do this to me?" I told her, "Just let it go. Screw it." At this point, I was aggravated. I felt like I had made a mistake, and I was paying for it. And, a lot of the times when I see dogs around here, I get out of my car, or actually my truck, and they don't run up to me like this dog did. They run away. And I would say about a dozen times or so, I have chased a dog back to its home. At any rate, I get back to the house. She lost a dog, but it had come back miraculously. I go back in the backyard and do another reinforcement, like pretty much a hoarder's barricade of whatever I had back there. A freaking tiny tot, basketball rim, old rug. Just random stuff that I could put to try and keep this little thing in there until we could figure out our next move. So I do that, and she starts barking. Bark, 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 bark. Okay. It's getting nighttime now. We didn't know whether, naturally be a house dog. Is she going to piss and shit everywhere? That's not going to make anyone happy around here, cleaning up piss and shit. Okay? Everyone knows. No one wants to clean up piss and shit. So, at this point, bring her in for a little while. I have her in my lap on the couch because I put her in the backyard and she was just barking her ass off. She was not having it. Bring her in the house. Okay, let's give her some love for about an hour or so. Put her back in the backyard. Reinforce it again because she had gotten out previously. I'm like, all right, I got this. I got it. I have the idea. Next morning, we wake up. We go into the backyard. Oh, she's gone. And this happened to be a day that I'm not working because the church that I'm working at had an event. There was no construction that was to be had during the event. So I was at home. I actually hopped in my truck and drove around the neighborhood to look for her, and there was no sign. So I was like, well, I guess we tried. If you would have saw the barricade that I put up, it would be like a beaver, that was tweaking and going through just random shit and tried to build a barricade. I thought I did a good job. Every time I walked away, I was confident that this little shit is not going to get out of my barricade. A man has to have pride in his work, or else you're not a man. Okay, day 2. She's out. She's gone. I drive around in my truck, can't find her. Get home, have some breakfast. About 30 minutes later, we hear the doorbell ring. And it's my buddy from across the way. His name is Will, who actually just went out to a costume party dressed as Harambe. And I thought that was great. I gave him some black socks to cover his white ankles. But that's besides the point. He brings the dog over and he says like, hey, do you know who this dog is? His wife went to leave early this morning and the dog ran straight into the garage. So while I was out looking for it, the dog was actually across the way in the house. So the dog got out, didn't leave. I say, hey, I tell him the story. And so now it's starting to get a little like, okay, the dog got out, didn't go anywhere. And this is actually a trend. When the dog gets out, it doesn't go anywhere anymore. So now we have to keep the dog in the house. Okay. It's clearly a house dog. Clearly an escape artist. And we spend the day with the dog in the house. I was off of work. Jessica's doing her Lularoe thing, which is taking off, and I'll probably talk a little bit about that. Lularoe. If you don't know about it, you probably will, sooner or later. So we spend the day with the dog in the house. Little female, part Chihuahua, part Jack Russell. The loyalty of a Chihuahua, the smarts of a Jack Russell. It's kind of funny because we were going to the park the other day. Actually, we were going to the zoo. We drove through this park, and I was like, and we were talking about actually going back to revisit this park. And I was thinking, man, that would be great to have a park, to have a dog to bring back to this park, just to have it run around. You know, that'd be great. And then we got back into, well, what kind would we want? We would want this one. Well, it's a short hair, and we would want that. And blah, blah, blah. And maybe after our next kid. And, but, you know, and it's just, you never know the kind of swings that life is going to throw at you, because that dog stayed with us for that day and the next day. That night we left her in the house, and she didn't pee or poo in the house for the first 48 hours. She has a couple times now. Actually, when I did go to work, the next time I did go to work, she barked at the back door and kind of signaled for us to let her out, and then she went out to go poo. She went poop, and she let us know that she had to go poop. So that was kind of an amazing, I guess, luck. We were lucky to get a dog that would do that. Come to find out, now rewind. She's a puppy. She's less than a year old. So all this behavioral stuff that she's been doing right, like she built herself her own bed, like almost immediately. She goes outside. She has pissed and pooped a couple times in the house, but it's mostly kind of our fault for not letting her out. Or if I yell at someone in the house, she tends to pee, which might lead to some kind of abuse somewhere in there. Hopefully not. But so we get to the point where, all right, she's so well behaved. She's fitting right in with TJ. I mean, they play together. It's like they keep each other entertained. TJ's trying to grab her tail. The dog's trying to nibble at TJ's hands. It's a constant 360 whirling dervish between the two of them. And that helps when I'm at work, because Jessica's business is really taking off. If you want some Lularoe, Jessica's got it. She's got a crazy inventory. She sold like 22 pieces yesterday. She sold like 15 today or something. It's a regular clothes store that's going on over here. Anyone interested, please let us know. She's doing the damn thing. And that's another personal side note. But so this dog, I mean, it kind of just fit right in with our family. It couldn't have been any, like, if one of these little aspects was wrong, we found a home for it. So if it barked too much, if it shat everywhere, if it was fucking biting people, we had a home for it. We found a home for it almost immediately. And then we're like, all right, we found a home for it. So yeah, just chugging along. Yeah, we got to wait till Saturday to make the exchange for the dog. All right, we'll give it a couple days. And then lo and behold, TJ and Sierra and everyone just starts to become like kind of attached to the dog. And then guess what? Now we have another member of the family. we would like to welcome Zelda to the party. I actually did a vote on my phone, texting people. It was either going to be Cleo, short for Cleopatra, or Zelda. So Zelda took the cake. And, she's like, it's just crazy. You'd think that she was already trained. And you don't know, maybe she was. But she wasn't chipped, she wasn't collared. So you lose. We tried to look at the local sites around here for anyone that was missing a dog or but there's so many of them around here that you just get the feeling that she's a stray. And if she's a Jack Russell, she didn't have her tail clipped. There's a lot of things that go into it. She's very well behaved. She fit right in. Boom. She actually likes to go for car rides too. Contrary to the last dog that we owned, hated car rides. Actually got really schizophrenic during them. So that's kind of a blessing. And the only thing that we need to figure out is what we do when we go on vacation. But if that's the only thing that you need to figure out, and she fits that in, and she brings happiness and joy to people in the family, well then, you know what? The positives outweigh the negatives. So that is what happened. And we got a new dog now. So that's how, that is the story of finding a stray and having the stray pick you and almost having no control over it. I'm a big dog lover, by the way. Big animal lover. I do this stuff whenever I see it. I don't want to act like it happens all the time around here, like it's a big hood or anything, but I do go out of my way to try and help animals. And a lot of the time, it's when a loose dog is out, if you get out of your truck or car and you just start approaching it, and it's in a neighborhood, not on a busy street, the dog will start running back to wherever it's supposed to go. Even like it can get out, or it got out of its gate or whatever that one time, and you just start approaching it and like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it'll go back to where it's supposed to be. I don't want people to lose their pets, and chip your animals, give them a collar, because I found one that had neither, and now it's mine. It might have been yours, but now it's mine, and she is amazing. So that is our Princess Zelda. She doesn't sleep with us. She made her own bed right by the couch. We put a blanket and a towel down in the middle of the living room floor, and she drug it over to the side of the freaking couch and made her own bed. I mean, how cool is that? It was almost like she knew, like, hey guys, I'm just gonna be here. I'm just gonna lay right here. Hey, don't even worry about me. Just take me out. I need to poo and pee sometime. Just give me some kibble. Hey, I'll be right here. Although, when I come in the door and she wants to get on my lap, she can't stop licking me in my face and like my nose, my ears. She tries to slip her little tongue in my mouth. She won't stop. She will not stop until I make her stop. I have to physically okay, that's enough. And enough is enough. I have my boundaries. Just like every human being should. Yeah, a little tongue here and there in the mouth, it's fine. And especially if she licks me in my ear, I want her to go right to my tongue. Just kidding. So yeah, we have a dog, and Jessica's business is really, really taking off. Okay, I come home from work, and I have to watch the kids for a couple hours while she goes and does her thing, and her thing she does well. Periscope, Lularoe, they go hand in hand. Don't ask me why, but they just do. And she does her thing really well. I'm very proud of her. She's tried a couple different avenues of home businesses. It's always kind of like sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's not about how much work you put in, but just about how lucky you can be when it comes with these home business opportunities. This one, maybe it was a combination of luck. It's definitely a combination of hard work and something else because she is working hard at it. And it's, one day we will see the fruits of the labor. Not exactly yet, but I'm looking forward to the day that we do. I'll put a link up on the Facebook or Twitter or whatever. If you please go to Facebook and like Mercury's Cast, Twitter, Mercury's Cast, and all you people on Instagram, man, I see you. I feel like people on Instagram, for some reason, are gravitating towards this podcast, and I don't exactly know why, but I am appreciative of it. Do we want to go political, or we can just stay personal? I can just talk about my feelings. Do you guys want to hear me talk about my feelings? I don't think so. Maybe not. Maybe I just get down sometimes. You ever just get fucking down sometimes? And you can't really put your finger on it. You're like, man, you know what? It's just these couple days, like, I feel like I'll go on a spike for 3 days and be really, really happy. I'm like, high. And then, so I'm like, it's almost like a switch that you turn your light on in your kitchen or something, and then boom, all right, we're down here now, and we're stuck here. Good luck getting us out. That's how I feel sometimes. Maybe it's bipolar tendencies. I don't know. But, without the yin and the yang, what would life be if everything was just at a neutral zero? No kind of wavelength. It was just a straight line, straight horizontal line. That wouldn't be any fun. But I think sleep might have some stuff to do with that. Sleep, diet. There's a lot of things that we're figuring out about our mood. And I've been trying to eat better. I don't try and eat as much beef. I don't eat a lot of hamburgers anymore. You got to start somewhere. I drink a lot of beer. Okay. That is at the top of the corkboard. Beer. That is like one of these days. Okay. That we just overlooked that. But I drink kefir, which is a probiotic yogurt drink. I take on it supplements, the gut health. And I see a big difference in how I feel, my poop, and stuff like that. We can go on about my poop, but I don't think anyone really wants to hear that. So, we can just kind of close this out, I guess, with the debate that happened last Sunday, about almost a week ago now. Presidential debate number 2. I don't know. It's really hard. I'm not excited about any of these candidates or the potential. I mean, it's like we're either going to have a run-of-the-mill politician that gets paid off by everyone and who might want to start a war with Russia, by the way, which a lot of stuff is indicating towards that. It's like the amount of media from the TV to the internet to Facebook to Twitter, you can spend all day long trying to research what the fuck is really going on. And at the end of the day, you can revert back to the same point that you started. Or you could have your mind made up already and click on a link and be like, yeah, man, yeah, Hillary's a liar. She's corrupt. She killed people. Or be like, yeah, Donald Trump's a racist and he's reckless and he says shit. If you have your mind made up already, well, good for you. Okay? Good for you. That leaves us other people undecided. Not saying that we're dumber or smarter, But for somebody like me, who doesn't like the two-party system at all, I mean, at all, and Gary Johnson really doesn't have a chance. I like the libertarian views, but hopefully 2020 we can get him some more votes, some more percentage, so he can at least enter the debate. I think the rule of you have to have this percentage to enter the debate at the presidential debate at a certain point, I think that's kind of a flawed system. The two-party system is not cool. So, I mean, if you have your mind made up already, then you're fine. You're having a good time on social media. If you're like me, where I don't exactly have my mind made up, but I'm almost certain that I don't want Hillary Clinton, just because of revert to the last episode. And Donald Trump is equally as scary. He acts like a little kid sometimes, and you don't want to give a little kid that much power. And I don't know if it's true what people say that he didn't expect to get this far or not. I mean, you never know. We're just civilians. We don't know how the inner workings of all that stuff works. Trump, at the debate, strong on borders again, which there's a great percentage of the American population that is afraid to talk about securing the border. And I'm not saying that's my position on it. I'm saying there's a lot of people out there that wish the borders were more secure, but they're scared to talk about it. And there's a lot of people out there that are scared to say that they're going to vote for Trump. I bet there's a lot of people out there that say that they're neutral, or I don't want to say that they're backing Hillary Clinton, but there's a lot of people that are afraid to say that they support Trump. And if I'm not one of them, I'm like, I don't know where I'm at. I do not support Trump, but I'm anti anything but Hillary. So if that makes me a Trump supporter, then so be it. In my personal opinion, I hate to even say it. I think both of them is a catastrophe for the future of America. And I'm writing in Harambe on my presidential election ballot. There might be a slight sliver of chance that Trump puts some smart people around him, doesn't react off instinct and childish fucking intentions, and actually, I don't know. And the border, I mean, it's tough, and we've talked about it on this show at length. And if you want to go back to listen to some of the episodes, please do, especially with me and Kenny in the early 20s, late teens episodes. Securing the borders is, that's a big thing for Trump in his campaign. And I can't say that I fully disagree with it. I think we should have strong borders. I also think we should have strong work visa programs. I also think that we should support American jobs for Americans. I also think that, these things kind of conflict with each other. It's hard. It's hard in today's world to just be like, I stand by this idea no matter what. And if it's one of these controversial ideas about the border or about refugees or about racism, it's hard. It's divisive. That is a big part of the two-party system that I don't like, because you're either on one side or the other, and they have drawn a line in the sand on a lot of these controversial issues where... So now all of a sudden you you're on one side of this issue and you automatically get pegged as being on the same side of a different issue because you are on that side. The line is drawn in the sand, Democrat, Republican. Because you claim that you are one of the two, you automatically sign up. Your name is next to, let's just kill babies, or let's just not have abortions at all, or let's not build a wall. Let's let everyone in. You get parlayed into all of these different ideas because you register as one party or the other. I'm a registered libertarian because I don't like the two-party system. Should we have strong borders? Yes. Why not? Countries around the world with our type of wealth should have strong borders. There are bad people that want to get in. There are too many people that want to get in. We cannot sustain the amount of growth that we have already. Look at our freeways. Look at LA, New Jersey, New York, Chicago, Houston. All of these major cities have fucked up freeways. And what do? Okay, so they have a construction plan that takes a year to finish. And by the time that year is done, the population has grown so much to where the construction to begin with didn't even sustain the amount of growth that was going to happen. So congratulations. You still have a crazy, fucked up freeway. And you didn't think this through all the way. And a lot of these freeways that were built, they're crisscrossing. They're going different directions. LA had it all wrong. They tried to get too creative, too artsy-fartsy. They're the hipsters when they were building these freeways because they just don't make any sense. Neither does the interchanges. Anyways, does that have to tie in with the borders and the population and the amount of resources that we have in America? I don't know. Maybe it does. So the big thing lately is they, grab her by the pussy. Great. Congratulations. You caught Trump with his pants down. If you want to talk about women relations, what about Hillary and getting the rapist off? And said that in that interview that she don't trust lie detectors anymore, and laughing about it was the reason that they got this dude off for raping a 12-year-old girl. I mean, the list goes on. We covered it in the last episode, which would be Mercury 26. Pretty much Hillary Clinton's funeral. Bill Clinton never got brought up in the debate yet. I'm waiting for that. I'm glad that Trump brought up George Soros and the Clinton Foundation, which we talked about in the last episode, that he didn't bring up in the first debate. A lot of us were disappointed in that. And again, Trump supporter, slightly. Hillary unsupporter, that is definitely me. Hillary refuses to bring up her husband in any of this stuff. You would think, okay, when people want to just look at on a general level, Hillary Clinton is qualified to be president. One of the reasons why is because her husband was president and she was the first lady, but yet she never brings up Bill and any of the shit. You would think that, okay, well, I saw my husband do this right and do that right. Well, I guess when you bring up Bill, it's kind of hard not to think about the sexual controversy that he got involved with the whole Oval Office and getting head under the desk and the cigar and then Paula Jones and now there's more stuff coming out about him and sexually abusing women because of his power and taking his dick out and shit like that. This is the dynasty that America is going to bring in if Hillary gets elected. And it's kind of scary. It seems like we go through these dynasties. You know, Obama, what did he do in the first 4 years? Nothing. What did he do after that? Obamacare, the NDAA, and a lot of executive orders that didn't mean shit. Well, what he also did do for all you, staunch liberals out there, he deported more people than any other president ever. He's deported people. Even though they came at the border, he sent them back. And that didn't happen under Bush. That didn't happen under Reagan. Not the amount of people. So there's your leftist president for you. Oh, and I thought that was cute about Trump's when Trump said if he's elected president, he's gonna get a special prosecution team to look into Hillary's situation. Oh, it makes you wonder that I don't think Hillary ever once considered that she could go to jail for the stuff that she did, even though me or you would for some of the stuff that she did. And I'm not going to make this another Hillary episode. Please go back and listen to Mercury's Cast 26. We highlighted enough in that episode. But, I mean, just being inadequate at your job. You know, Secretary of State, having ambassadors die under your watch. That's bad. Okay, that's bad enough. Having thousands of emails mysteriously disappear that has to do with a lot of important shit, that's not good either. Okay, so now this person is going to be president, which I hate to say it, is most likely is going to happen. So, in any case, that's what's going on. Personally, quick presidential recap for episode 27, all by my lonesome. Anything else that I want to say? I would think that's it. Hopefully everyone's having a great time doing whatever you're doing, and hopefully the next president of the United States of America does not start a nuclear war. This has been Travis Montgomery for Mercury's Cast, your interplanetary host, and I am out. Shout out to my neighbor for dressing up as Harambe for his costume party. You guys have a good time.